Hey, welcome back to my shop. In this video, I'm going to show you a method that I used to test a carburetor before I reinstall it to make sure that I'm getting a good seal on the needle and seat. How many times have you had a carburetor flood out because your needle and seat aren't making a good seal? Maybe your seat's worn out, maybe your needle's worn out, but for whatever reason, carburetor is just getting too much fuel because the needle and the seat aren't doing their job. So I try to confirm every carburetor that I have apart before I reinstall it with this tool right here, a simple hand vac. Now this comes as a part of a whole kit. Generally they're sold as brake bleeding systems. You can get a wide variety of them available. Doesn't really matter which one you use. I bought the simplest and the cheapest one, and it does the job. There's other ones out there on the market, a little more, a little less, but it doesn't really matter which one you get. And you can leave all those fancy attachments in the package for this job because all we're using is the pump and one piece of the tubing that comes with it. Simply going to connect the tubing to the pump. Then we're going to connect the other end of the tubing to the fuel inlet on your carburetor. Invert the carburetor so that it's upside down with the bowl facing upward, and run up no more than 5 inches of mercury on your vacuum pump. After you've run up the vacuum, let the carburetor sit inverted and see if it holds the vacuum. If it holds without losing the vacuum pressure, then your needle and seat are probably fine, and it's probably safe to go ahead and install your carburetor. This will work on just about any type of carburetor that uses a float, a needle and seat. Simply invert the carburetor so you have only the weight of the float resting on the needle and seat, and see if it will hold the vacuum. If it does, you're probably okay to reinstall your carburetor. Here it is one more time. Simply connect the hose to your fuel inlet, invert the carburetor, run up no more than 5 inches of mercury of vacuum, and watch the scale. If it holds the vacuum, you're probably okay to reinstall your carb. Here's an example of a carburetor that just needs more work. See how this one won't even hold a small amount of vacuum? Probably the case that when you put this carburetor back in service, it's not going to seal and your carburetor is going to flood out again. So go back and try again. You want it to hold that vacuum pressure like this one's doing, and then you're done.